Here's my issue.
Yeah, and because of the theory and that we I like my bag. Yeah.
Oh, that's really easy. That's really easy. I don't there you go. I think this is I'll try and send a text message. I mean, if it is really especially yes, I'm fine. 10 minutes. Oh, I know. I see it.
Hello, hello. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Jacobo. We're not heard again, right? Because they asked me to unmute myself, but I think it's still again us only.
I got it in your answer. Yeah. Okay, we can talk because also I get that really yeah, so we're gonna okay, I just want to know that I did. I mean,
I'm gonna feed you guys.
yes, I am. No, you look. No, it's not how you know how you feel. Don't worry. You look cool as a cute brand. It's okay. Let me just say, we're not to say in the land, but like it's a really intentional shift. Yeah. Well, many of the countries are also parts of the so you're okay. I received information.
Yeah. WHO, we did yesterday. Yeah. But yesterday I was telling her, Jemimah about it because it.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, and it's actually, it seems to be a really good report, good evidence that we can use. I mean, it's a little early in the day. I am not generally
Hello,
having this.
Carlos, do you hear me? Hello.
I know, right? Okay.
Simon. Hello.
Yes, I talked to you. I got about 5 minutes, maybe longer, entrepreneurship work. It's the public.
Hello, Carlos. No?
Speak of the
Things yesterday.
1, 2, 3, this is Anna. Jacobo, they're telling me what to say, that's why I'm saying this. Please. 1, 2, 3, this is Anna.
People were delegating.
Jacobo, can you also say something?
Yes, I'm here. Hello. Yes. Hello. Hello. Jacopo here.
I think it's.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Carlos. Do you hear us? Well, they just wrote that the sound guy.
One, two, three. Colleagues and friends. We need to begin. Welcome.
My name is Meral Guzel, and I'm leading Women Entrepreneurship Accelerator program. Established by 61 agencies and Mary Kay, and today we have Mary Kay and a few of our colleagues from partnering UN agencies. And we are here to introduce you the second phase of Women Entrepreneurship Accelerator that we call Women Entrepreneurship EXPO. I'm glad to have all of you here, and half of you I consider my friends, so we have been waiting for this for a long time. And EXPO is about partnership, it's about building the communities. And we initially wanted to have 30 very intimate group of people that we could really talk, but grow up the room. Hence the change of the room last minute. So I will not be able to give you the chance to introduce yourself by one. But I sent you everything yesterday at 4 a.m. So you with that, I would like to introduce our Sarah Hendricks, Director of Policy Program and Intergovernmental Division of UN Women, to give the opening remarks.
Thank you so much. What amazing energy in the room for a breakfast. This is fantastic. It truly does seem like a group of wonderful friends, colleagues, and I think very fierce feminists among us as well. So warm welcome. Indeed. It is really with immense pleasure that I welcome you to this breakfast on behalf of UN Women, alongside our esteemed partners, Yildiz Holding, Mary Kay Global, and 1919 Investment Counsel. Can we give a round of applause and thanks to all of them? And I'm here to introduce and explore the transformative potential of Women's Entrepreneurship EXPO flagship program together with all of you today. Women-owned businesses, as you all know, have such a crucial role. They have a crucial role in economic development, through amazing things, through employment generation, to boost innovation, to boost growth. Women's entrepreneurship and women-owned businesses are forces of turbocharging economies. They provide income for their families, employment for their communities. They create value to products. They create value to services. Women have been such a fast-growing segment of small business owners for many decades. We could even say for millennia. In developing countries, there are about 10 million small and medium enterprises with at least one woman owner. And here in the US, for example, women-owned businesses are growing at more than double the rate of all other firms. They contribute more than, actually nearly $3 trillion to the economy. And guess how many jobs in the US women-owned businesses are responsible for? Any guesses? 23 million. Wow. Which is phenomenal. According to the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, the latest data from the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, women entrepreneurs represent about 1 in 3 growth-oriented entrepreneurs across the world today. Amazing. Furthermore, studies show that women businesses actually perform better with less. I'm not sure if they should perform better with less. They do. Investment and they are about 80% more profitable than their male counterparts, with just about 80% of the same levels of investment. Despite this, women entrepreneurs make major contributions to their families, but also to their communities, to society at large, to national economies. And yet, and there's always an yet when we speak about gender equality, we do know that women entrepreneurs face structural barriers to their continued work, to their productivity. These barriers continue to constrain them also from enjoying their economic rights, from being economic agents, from fully embracing their economic power and potential. And I think that's part of what we want to talk about here today. These barriers are facing women-owned businesses and women entrepreneurs in low and middle income countries in unique ways, and really in even greater ways, where women entrepreneurs have less access to a range of things, to productive resources, to credit, to services, to opportunities that just create a very significant difference in terms of advantage and disadvantages. As a solution, what you see around the room is a proposed effort that can change those dynamics. UN Women, together with our partners, are proposing something called the EXPO program to foster enabling ecosystems that would really empower women entrepreneurs to thrive in their own right, to go from strength to strength to strength as entrepreneurs, but also as leaders, also as innovators. By joining forces with many, and hopefully with all of you across the room, we can actually create an ecosystem where women entrepreneurs aren't just in survival mode. They're not just surviving on doing more with less, but they're actually thriving. They're moving their products and their businesses to greater heights, where we're really tackling the barriers that inhibit women entrepreneurs and their businesses, and we're dismantling those, where we're generating new opportunities and we're seeing women-owned businesses thrive. Women Entrepreneurship EXPOs are envisaged as dynamic. They are dynamic platforms that will serve as catalytic hubs, bringing together really diverse stakeholders, seeing this truly as a multi-stakeholder effort, from UN agencies to government, to civil society, to philanthropy, to the private sector, really with a model of co-creation to implement solutions that can drive inclusive and also equitable growth. Our vision is ambitious. All good visions should be ambitious, don't you think? Our vision is ambitious, but we also think it's attainable. So our vision is to reach 5 million women entrepreneurs across 70 countries and 6 regions by the year 2030. Wow. So today's breakfast event holds particular significance because it provides a unique opportunity to share this vision with all of you and to ensure that we know about the UN Women EXPO program and that we see opportunities to connect. Through our shared commitment, we aim to inspire action. We aim to mobilize resources for women-owned businesses. We aim to advance women's entrepreneurship at a global scale. And the outcomes that we're seeking to achieve, I hope, are very clear. They're very clear to us. We want to ensure they're clear to all of you as well. We seek to mobilize private sector companies and philanthropies to commit to advancing women's entrepreneurship, supporting these efforts through this EXPO model, and to increase investment into women's enterprise. Together, we really believe that we can pave a way towards this future that is ambitious, but that is also attainable, where women's entrepreneurs are empowered to really realize their full potential, to realize all of the potential they have in terms of their economic power in their own lives, the catalytic economic power for their communities and societies where they live. I really want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each of you for your unwavering commitment to see women entrepreneurs and their businesses go to their full potential, to drive innovation, also job creation, and really inclusive prosperity. Together, let us dare to think big, let us dare to dream, to look at new heights for women-owned businesses to innovate and to build a world where every woman has the opportunity to thrive. With this, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And honestly, your support is crucial. And you have been always very supportive of EXPO and clients. Thank you. With that, I'm introducing the Chief of Women Economic Empowerment Department of UN Women, Jemimah Njuki, to give the introductory remarks. And she's also leading the whole entrepreneurship work in UN Women.
Thank you so much, Meral. Such a wonderful way to start the day with you all in the room, old friends, new friends. Thank you so much for coming. As Meral mentioned, I lead our work on economic empowerment. We have 3 priorities. Jobs and entrepreneurship for women is a top priority for us. We know that women's engagement in entrepreneurship, in economic activity, is also constrained by the amount of unpaid care work that they do. And so transforming care systems is also a priority for us. And for many women around the world, we know they are constrained by what we call the climate crisis. And especially rural women, women living in informal areas, women living in disaster-prone areas. And so we've also taken as our 3rd priority, gender-responsive climate action and getting more women in the blue and green economies, taking advantage of the just transition. So those are our 3 key priorities, as you can see, very interconnected. However, underpinning those priorities is financing for gender equality, because we know we cannot do this work without the resources. We can build women's capacity to be entrepreneurs. We can build their capacities to participate in the labor markets, but the jobs that we create in those markets need to be decent jobs, and we need financing going to gender equality. And so we have a cross-cutting theme around financing for gender equality. To do this, we need governments to play their role. And so our 2nd cross-cutting priority is working with governments to make sure that the macroeconomic policies that they have in place are gender responsive, they address the needs and priorities of women. We also know social norms are critical for women's economic autonomy. Social norms, changing harmful, discriminatory social norms is important for women to engage in the labor force, to engage in entrepreneurship, and therefore changing social and discriminatory norms is an important part of our work. This morning, we are here to talk about entrepreneurship and how we support, as Sarah rightly said, how do we support women entrepreneurs to thrive and not just survive. At UN Women, what we have done is taken a holistic approach. We are using gender-responsive procurement as an important tool to support women-owned businesses and gender-responsive businesses. We have, in the last couple of years, developed knowledge products, developed tools, worked with partners for both public and private sector gender-responsive procurement. On Monday, was it Anna, we joined up with ITC to launch a campaign to get governments on board, because we know that public procurement space is also an important space for women to engage in. We know governments actually set the pace for all of us. if they commit to gender responsive procurement, we have a couple of governments that are even setting targets at 40%. And 40% of public procurement will go to women-owned and women-led businesses. And what that does for our country, it gets everybody to get on board, not just us in this room who are like-minded and know the value of this, but they set the pace for the whole country. And so it's also important that we work on that policy and legal framework side, so that we can get more and more governments recognizing the power of gender-responsive procurement. And today, we're talking about private sector and how private sector can also remain accountable to gender equality. And so what we are building on is very successful experiences with this EXPO program. And I am so happy to see our former regional director in the Europe and Central Asia region here with us, because this is where it all started, right, Adia? This is where it started. And I'm also happy to see that some of the partners who work very closely with Meral and our UN partners and with ADIA are here in the room. Kavida, Secretary General, CEO of Hepsi Burada. I've seen our colleagues from Yildiz here. So grateful that you are leaders in this space, that you are actually showing how we can do this and how we can better support women entrepreneurs. The Expo in the East and Central Asia, in the Europe and Central Asia region, actively engaged over 4,500 women entrepreneurs from 22 countries who participated in more than 50 virtual bootcamp sessions conducted in collaboration with local partners. The program has expanded its impact through the establishment of local expos in 10 countries. So when I look at that work, I actually say, this is not even a program. It is a movement.
Yeah.
And what we really want to see happen is this movement grow in other regions, which is why we have called you here today to put our heads together. 763 private companies participated in these Expo events, with over 30 partnerships established both at the regional and country level. And what we see is this weaving of this idea of supporting women-owned businesses really taking shape in the region. Now, before I finish my remarks, I want to let you know that by leveraging the foundation that has been laid by the existing WEA initiative, facilitated by UN partners and Mary Kay, who are here with us today, that we can replicate this success in other regions as well as building on existing networks. We know in Africa, for example, the African Continental Free Trade Area gives us already the platform to start doing this. So I'm calling on all of you today, please do not leave this room without making a commitment that for the companies you represent, for the companies that you're networked with, what is it you're going to do to support women-owned businesses? And even more importantly, how are you going to work with us to roll this out in other countries, in other regions? How do we use the examples that you have provided to catalyze this movement around the world? As Sarah Hendricks says, we want this in 70 countries, 5 million women. And I'm actually counting on all of you.
Thank you so much, Jemimah, for making a great introduction of EXPO. And I also want to take 1 minute to thank, especially to Alia. I know you did, but I want to thank Alia for all your support, all those years for the testing. And also the regional leads of WEA Anna Pashalishvili, she's online now, on her own maternity leave. It's 3 a.m. in Istanbul. While we're I really want to thank Anna. She has been a great leader in making this possible in the region, honestly. And while I'm thinking, and while we are talking about Expo, I want to give a hint what was the Expo with a video. And here's the story of the video. I think the little stories are nice, like Virginie told me yesterday. So this video has been produced by one of our dear UN partners, Lori's colleague, ITU partner, Victoria. She was supposed to join us today, but she missed the plane. Then she sent the boyfriend to replace her. I don't know what I'm saying about this last year. So these skills are beneficial.
In the heart of the global movement for gender equality and economic empowerment is the Women's Entrepreneurship Accelerator, a beacon of hope and innovation for women entrepreneurs around the world. Confronting barriers with bold solutions, the Women's Entrepreneurship Accelerator has pioneered a model of sustainable impact. Through skill building, access to finance, expansive networks, and advocacy, the Women's Entrepreneurship Accelerator is dismantling the obstacles that women entrepreneurs face.
At some point, everybody was starting. Everybody is a beginner at some point. Even those people on the other side of the table.
From the earliest stages of business creation to scaling up, the Women's Entrepreneurship Accelerator empowers women with free trainings by global experts, access to crucial venture capital, and introductions to expansive markets and networks. The Women's Entrepreneurship Accelerator is building a future where women's economic participation is not just encouraged, but expected.
In terms of being a community of women who are building companies and building companies to support themselves, their families, their communities.
The Women's Entrepreneurship EXPO acts as a catalyst for growth, a space where entrepreneurs, investors, and policymakers converge to create an ecosystem where women's businesses can thrive.
Now, we are fully ready to kick off our learning portion and our inspiration portion. I am a great believer that you cannot be what you cannot see. So we have chosen great people, thought leaders, and experts in their fields who want to share their ideas and inspire you to move forward, but to move faster.
My name is Elizabeth Wanji from Kenya. I am the founder and CEO of Guzel for Women, a tech-based social enterprise that focuses on economically empowering marginalized, low-income women from the slums using ICT. Working under us, these women have risen their income from less than $2 to $8 a day, enabling them to better provide for their children. The Women Entrepreneurship Accelerator connected us to knowledgeable mentors who help refine our business structure, training, and secondary programs, ensuring greater effectiveness. From Guzel, we send to you Asanteni Sana.
Hi, I'm Sarah Cabito from the Philippines. I am the co-founder of We Code for Kids. We Code for Kids was created to make programming accessible and exciting to Filipino students at a young age. WPA program that was introduced to mentors who provided me with guidance and expertise. They offered me advice on strategic planning, partnership development, and overcoming challenges in implementing technology education programs. And because of this, we are one step closer to achieving our goal in empowering kids through coding.
Hi, my name is Mama Navajas. I'm the Chief Executive Officer and Vision Fund, focus on creating the data. So, thank you so much. But the one that the entrepreneurship accelerator we have people else and just over the training. So some understanding on the work with blockchain. Topic space. Also in terms of investing so much about how to observe. So thanks so much to the team to be able to create that is the last year.
From October 21st to 22, the local producers fair took place in the Cathedral Square of Chisinau. gathering over 80 entrepreneurs, including refugees from Ukraine. They had the opportunity to showcase and sell their products to visitors. Among the participants in the fair is Anna Kasatkina, originally from Ukraine, who has been a refugee in Moldova for 2 years.
В Молдове я начала заниматься ручной работой, тоже что я занималась в Украине, я занималась, делала ЦСКО. Но когда приехала в Молдову, очень много было поддержка женщин, разные проходили семинары, тренинги. Când soțul meu dezvoltam afacere în rayonul Spăleni, Comuna Moldovei.
Joining Isania kuna schoda spasata meșor, vistem dar capital. Joining experimente biznes aslependia charter sarshi, moqoba qolva sajido atributi რომელიც ჭირდება ექსპერიმენტს.
გადავმოებ საფერავის ხვინოს, ხაციფილს, ხიხვს და ხიხვისთან ხაციფელის კოპარს. ჩვენი პროდუქცია წელს პირველად გავიდა ექსპორტზე იაპონიაში, რამაც ძალიან გაგვახარა. Ce se devine tradițională acest lucru. Vedem tărie că o să continuăm și edițiile următoare și ne face plăcere să facem parte din această comunitate a femeilor.
Join us as we advance towards empowering 5 million women entrepreneurs by 2030 across 70 countries and 6 regions for a more equitable and prosperous world. Be part of this transformative journey with the Women's Entrepreneurship Accelerator.
That was great, right? It's a great beginning. So now here I have the pleasure to feature certain aspects of Women Entrepreneurship EXPO that we are planning to launch officially globally beyond the ECA region. You all received the concept notes. Obviously, I will not go over all the details or any details. However, there are 2 sets of information that I want to tell you. And they are here in form of 2 big banners. It's not enough yet. I also printed them on the card, so you can also take them home. I think those are the most important features. The first one here talk about what is EXPO. EXPO is a partnership program. It is not a women entrepreneurship program. It is a partnership program to build enabling ecosystem for women entrepreneurs. So based on the work already done by UN partners and lessons learned from the ECA region, we will be launching a global program, as has been mentioned several times by Sarah and Jemimah. What is our role here? What UN is doing here? First of all, we are here to convene all the actors within the ecosystem to join the forces and deliver what we are doing the best. So EXPO will act as a catalyzer and coordinator of actors so that women can join these ecosystems where they can grow, start up and grow their businesses. And here are some activities that you can see on my side. Obviously, I cannot read it, but I recognize the items. I have to go back to it. So the first one, we will be working also with the member states and with the governments and providing them policy recommendations. And this is not a new work for us. And as Jemimah mentioned, and we have here with us Anna Golub. Anna, you can just stand up wherever you are. She's our colleague leading the public procurement in UN Women, actually since I joined UN Women for many years, right? 7 years or something like that. So together with ITC colleagues, we just launched under the leadership of Anna, gender responsive public procurement campaign. So welcome you also all the countries to join us. The second part, bringing UN, all the UN system and UN Women, and all global, regional, and local partners, all stakeholders to work together. The third one, offer capacity building workshops to all our stakeholders, meaning the governments, women entrepreneurs, but also public and private sector. The fourth one, we really want to focus, and you can see how we are, it's in our heart, on gender responsive procurement, both public and private procurement. And the last one, connect all the components and all the stakeholders within the financial system with the networks and women entrepreneurs. And we have a team, sustainable finance team, and our colleagues are here. If you can just stand up, so we can also see we have a specific team working on this. So now I would like to talk shortly about the implementation modalities, which is on the other side, and the other side of the card, as you can see. So how this works? By leveraging the expertise and resources of all the partners, wherever we are, the expo takes place between 9 to 12 months and passing through different phases. The first phase is a launch in collaboration with the government agencies. I'm not talking only here gender machineries. Of course, they are very important, and UN Women has always been working very closely with them. But we also have to work with the Labor Ministry. We have to work with the Ministry of Finance, right? And SME agencies. We have to work with all of them together. This launch will be done, a launch all together in partnership. This launch comes together with an application form, and this is something that I really want to stress. It is not a your name, last name, email type of application, but it is a, if I'm not wrong, I wish I could talk about this, 80 questions assessment form. Meaning that after every assessment form, our young women colleagues sit down and customize this cohort, which means it is totally customizable, and each year it can be something different, depending on what we have learned from the assessment form. If the first year it was more like a microfinance type of women entrepreneurs, and this is how we have built our bootcamp and all the country-specific programs later. The second year, women entrepreneurs demanded more on the e-commerce, we have 3.0, so we have found the workshops to build their capacities on those points. So it is totally customizable and every time. According to this assessment, the country offices, our country offices also began building their own satellite expo. It is what we call satellite expo. The second part, the second phase are the boot camps. So as I explained, I don't need to go into details, but the most important thing is that these boot camps are delivered by our local partners. Last year, UN Women ECA region, Europe and Central Asia region, built partnership, official partnership with 111 organizations in total to deliver this workshop and mastership together. The third one are satellite expo, meaning that every country developed their own program depending on the needs of what they have first in their own country. For example, Turkey office focused on gender responsible procurement. Georgia focused on the building the capacity of financial institutions, so how they can offer financial or non-financial products and services to women entrepreneurs. We had a lot of refugee entrepreneurship happening in Moldova, so every country comes with a different project, and this is what should also happen later. For example, now we have built, we are just beginning in West Africa, and they want to focus on the trade, and we will call it Women in Trade Expo. It could be care entrepreneurship expo, it could be tech expo, it could be any type of expo that you can really think if it comes from the region and if it comes from the from our partners and also the WTO. And the third one is the online virtual expo, which is a 48 hours long online program around 19th of November. We all know what is 19th of November, Women Entrepreneurship Day. So it is built of is a partnership program again, built of many panels and workshops and master classes and inspirational stories. After this, we began our mentoring program. It is not an amateurish mentoring program. We really work with serious standardized mentoring methodology to really match the woman with the experts. After this, and this is something new that we just launching this year, is Gender Finance Design Workshop. We will be working with financial institutions and build their capacities so they can serve better the women's market. In the month of May, we will be, I forgot now how many financial institutions, but we are beginning this fee-based project. And lastly, Expo Capital Quest, it's the end of the funnel. It is where women entrepreneurs, they have a chance to pitch to the investors. And this year, I'm happy to announce that Aya built a partnership with European Business Angels Network, meaning that our entrepreneurs will have a chance to work with all those investors from all over Europe. And this will be happening in May this year. Actually, it's EVAN, it's called EVAN, European Business Angels Network. His director is on the line now and to say a few words. It could be possible, Carlos?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Meral. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, perfect.
Oh, fantastic. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much and good morning, everybody. My name is Jacopo Losso. I'm the Director General of the European Business Angels Network, which is a trade association and a network that is present across all of Europe, but also present in many developing regions of the world. Our association was born 25 years ago to spread and divulge the movement of angel investment far and wide. And we're doing this because angel investors are at the forefront of innovation. They are the first investors and the first professional investors that typically entrepreneurs find in their journey towards success. Angel investors make up roughly 50% of all invested capital in the first 3 years of a startup's life. And what we're doing at EBAN is we are educating new individuals to become business angels, and we're spreading this movement and this culture far and wide. And you may be asking yourselves, but what does this all have to do with women and women entrepreneurship and investment? Well, as one of the big issues that we have in our ecosystem is not only the lack of women that are launching businesses, but also the lack of women that are investing as investors, as private investors in venture capital. And we believe that by bringing in more women to the angel and early stage investment asset class, we can also improve the amount of capital that is invested in female-led startup businesses for many obvious reasons, which I don't think it's necessary to list. Our work with the UN Women is very much in that direction. We are looking at increasing the amount of women launching new businesses, but also helping women in businesses access finance and access venture capital investment in particular. And this is why last year we were honored to begin a collaboration with the UN Women. We engaged in a memorandum of understanding, and we are continuing to work together, and in particular with regards to the EXPO Global event, which we are thrilled to be supporting. We were a partner last year, and we're honored to also be a partner this year for the event. Our plans are basically to scout and identify the best women-led businesses across the region, across many parts of Central Asia and Europe, and bring the selected entrepreneurs to present and to pitch and to hopefully raise their round of investment from the business angel community, from the investor community that we gather at EBAN. We are very delighted to see so many people and so many organizations that are also believers in increasing the participation of women in the entrepreneurship world as well as in the investment world. And we thank you, of course, for all of the commitments that you make, be it as foundations or donors or philanthropists to this cause. And we are, appreciating very much all of this support because it does enable activities such as the Expo and all of the connections that can derive from that event to really happen. I am also extremely happy and glad to see the huge support from the G20 and all of the colleagues joining this event today and supporting the work that is being done to crowd in more women in the startup asset class. And here again, a huge thank you to the G20 colleagues joining this initiative. Again, our commitment at EBAN is very strong. As an organization, we are also pushing to increase the participation of women in the angel investment asset class. We are doing this by working with our community members in improving the participation of women by doing educational initiatives to help new women investors get started and make their first investments. We're working with our community to have role models more present and to have these role models more easy to see and to identify in the ecosystems, in the angel communities around Europe. And we're doing different activities such as events, such as articles and podcast interviews, again, to inspire and bring more women to the world of angel investment, which again, we believe will be instrumental to increasing also the venture capital investment in women-led startups. I want to thank Meral and Anna, who are the two people at UN Women that we work together with, for inviting us and for inviting EBAN, not just today, but to work and be a partner with you on this endeavor to improve the participation of women in the entrepreneurship world. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and again, honored to be working together with the UN.
Thank you, Jacopo.
Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to the
Thank you.
Virginie Naigeon-Malek. She's our champion and guardian of Women Entrepreneurship Accelerator, really. And she will talk about how a private sector company experienced and launched a Women Entrepreneurship initiatives at this global scale. Stage is yours for 6 minutes. Okay.
Thank you so much, Sarah and Jemimah, for inviting me to speak today. It's my honor, but it's also a big joy for me today to have the privilege to tell you a little bit more about, the background story behind the Women's Entrepreneurship Accelerator. It is actually an inspiring business case. So welcome everyone. Thank you for having some time to be here today. We really appreciate that. So Mary Kay, for those who don't know the company, is a beauty and entrepreneurship development company with a mission to empower women economically. There are millions of independent sales force members around the world. We operate in 45 countries today. But I want to tell you something that most people don't know. We have the seed that we are starting in China, actually. So in 2017, Mary Kay entered a partnership with UNDP in China in collaboration with the China Women's Development Foundation and the central and local government representatives of China in the Yunnan province to launch a SDG pilot village initiative in Waifula. That's the name of the village. And this was the very first, step in what would become later WIA. I'm going to explain why. So this pilot project was, and is still, because now it's in phase 2, a women-focused poverty reduction and sustainable development project specifically designed to empower women, to develop women by alleviating the structural barriers to women economic inclusion in rural areas. So the women-focused approach of providing entrepreneurial opportunities to rural women to be transformative. So it started at the village level, and now look at it, it became truly a global program. So when women started participating in economic development and gained status in their communities, the whole village benefited. I'm going to give you 2 key facts here. One, in less than 4 years, the poverty rate dropped from 28% to 0%. Right? And these women leaders 12 of the 17 sustainable goals were implemented, advanced at the local level. So this became like a blueprint, if you will, of the development impact of women entrepreneurship, and also how women entrepreneurship can advance the SDGs at the local level. So now, I just heard a few weeks ago that the SDG Pilot Village project received the Keret Gender Award. So the Keret, I don't know if you're familiar with this organization, maybe Alia would be, is the acronym for the Central Asian Regional Economic Cooperation. It includes 11 member countries in Asia, from China to Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and obviously China. And so the goal of Keret is to promote the development through regional cooperation, and they gave, this project a gender award. So with access to finance, as part of this project, what were the pillars? Access to finance, entrepreneurial and leadership skill building, advocacy, and multi-stakeholder engagement at its core. This high impact initiative became the inspiration for WIA. So what happened next? At Mary Kay, we have this mission to, advance women entrepreneurship, and we had a big dream, and we wanted to help women. So we went and consulted with the United Nations, and we asked them to, one burning question: how can we help advance women entrepreneurship and all around the world, and help women all around the world? So in 2019, we had our answer. We joined forces with not one, but 6 United Nations agencies to form a novel type of partnership. Meral told you it's all about partnership today. The Women Entrepreneurship Accelerator, also known as WIA. So partners, because I want to give, a round of applause to our partner who did incredible work working through a pandemic in support of WIA, so International Labour Organization, International Telecommunication Union, International Trade Center, UN Global Compact, and the United Nations Development Program, and of course, UN Women. So, moved by our mission to create an ecosystem that works for women, together we committed to empower 5 million women around the world by 2030. We have our bold goal, right? So, how are we going to make this happen? So in 2021, we trusted UN Women to lead the coalitions of UN agency partners in WIA. And we trusted Meral Guzel to head the Secretariat of WIA. We chose Meral. Why? Because of her, expertise of all things entrepreneurship, but also for her inclusive mindset. And I think all the ladies in the room today, and men, allies, are true, testament to this inclusivity that you promote all around, Meral, and her genuine commitment to changing the landscape for women entrepreneurs. It's not about her; it's really about women entrepreneurs. Not about her. So now I'm going to tell you briefly what was the role of Mary Kay in WIA and why WIA is such a unique partnership. So you understood, and Sarah described that it's a groundbreaking partnership. Why? Because public, private sector, NGOs, academias, women entrepreneurs work together to move the needles with and for women entrepreneurs around the world. So at Mary Kay, we provided the seed funding to support WIA in incubation and early phase development phase. So strategy, structure, governance. And then also we supported the first phase, the first rollout of impactful programs around the world. Our total investment was above $3 million in support of WIA. So I was expecting some applause for this. Because it was not a commitment we took lightly, and this commitment is for the greater good, not just something self-serving. It was really a testament to our mission of helping women around the world. Okay, so from this inception, the business case I was telling you about is that we help carve a new pathway, for the private sector to engage and participate to change. So from the beginning, we knew it was bigger than us. That's important. So the vision, for WIA is really to help elevate women entrepreneurship as a profession. Our dream is for women in high school, young girls in high school, to consider entrepreneurship as a path for success, right? And we need your help to do so. And I think this program is different because it's focused on impact and it's focused on alleviating all the barriers, to women entrepreneurs, meaning on finding solutions and on focusing on the most critical issues. So we want to help all women, wherever they are, in thriving economies, in zone of conflict. We saw that, right, with, for instance, recently, a women entrepreneurship summit held from a bunker in Ukraine and gathering over 100 women entrepreneurs in a war zone. Think about that. Because guess what? If a woman has access to her phone and the Wi-Fi, she can train herself through WIA. Isn't it amazing, right? While she's trying to figure what is the next step for her and her family. So the EXPO launched by UN Women in Europe and Central Asia under the leadership of Alia has really proven to be a game-changing program. To me, when I say we have this vision, when I say we, it's not just Mary-Kay, it's together with the 6 UN agencies, of this entrepreneurship vehicle that is WIA. But to me, the EXPO program, the flagship program of WIA, is really WIA turned into action, the demonstration, if you will. So, thanks to this, we have touched the life of thousands of women in 10 countries. So Sarah and Jemimah said that the ambition was to launch the EXPO in 70 countries. We have 60 more to go. We need your help. But think about all the regions that still need to be covered. I think we can totally do that. It's completely an attainable goal. So I hope you're going to join us. So I want to say in closing, because I know time we are running out of time. We know that women bring so many solutions. It just blows my mind when I see, we do competition or we do, EXPOs to see the creativity, genuinely, or the contribution of women to the most critical issues of the world today, right? There really are a powerful solutions, And unfortunately, as Virginie Little-John, who's in the room, says, they tend to do it alone, right? Because they don't have the resources that they need. And because of a lack of access, and we really need to change that because this is not equitable. And we can do it. So a holistic partnership like WIA is key to unlocking the full potential of women entrepreneurship. So we know that expanding this partnership further will help drive even more progress. So this is where you come into play. All of us have a role to play in this journey, right? Public sector, business, foundation, academia, CSOs, it's all about being smarter. It's all about, being stronger together. So the public and private sector, one way to do it is for us to commit to inclusive gender responsive policies. Absolutely. It's all about investing in women and it starts with us. We also need to encourage women to buy more from women businesses. It's all about women supporting women. Today, my outfit is completely powered by women brands, right? It's something. So ultimately, we decided to invest in WIA because our focus was on the ecosystem change and on impact. If you share the same mindset, support WIA and invest in the Women Entrepreneurship EXPO because the EXPO will take your investment further. So we hope you will not only be inspired, but also convinced that WIA offers the best platform for economies and societies to reap the benefits of women entrepreneurship. Okay, I'm going to close with a quote from our beloved founder, Mary-Kay Ash. She said, "I was not interested in the dollars and cents part of the business. My interest when I started Mary-Kay Inc. was to offer women opportunities that did not exist anywhere else.
Today, the same opportunity to transform the lives of women is offered to you. Will you take it? Will you join us? Thank you so much, Virginie. It has been really a real pleasure, honestly, working with you. Beyond the private sector donor and human relationship, I always thought that we were two warriors working for the same cause, and our objectives were so aligned. So I would like to introduce you, and that is our last session before the plenary, another private sector company who has been supporting EXPO regionally since 2022. Our partnership agreement included a pledge to establish gender-responsive procurement policies and practices across the holding subsidiary company. Sorry, I forgot to introduce it. It's Yildiz Holding. As advisory services provided by UN Women to Yildiz Holding, the company exceeded all the expectations, creating more than $5 million value for women entrepreneurs in a bit of more than 1 year. This case study, this success story, caught the eye of London Business School, who is now preparing a case study for Yildiz Holding to introduce it within its classes. So today we have the honor to have Begüm Mutuş, the trailblazer behind the holding success as the manager of Yildiz Holding Women Network, and together Helen Kemset, Associate Dean of London Business School, and Dr. Lisa Duke, the Program Director of Executive Education in London Business School, who is penning this case study now, and they have left a draft, a first draft, as you can see, all of you have one to take home. And the floor is yours, Helen, Begüm'cüm, and Lisa. Six minutes.
Fine. You can just see. We can leave it. I think it's fine.
Yeah, yes. Yes, but it's important to have this for the important.
Yes, so good morning, everyone. We're delighted to be here with you today. I'm Helen.
I'm Begüm. And I'm Lisa.
Right. That Meral has given us and reminded us many times before today. What we want to do is just brief the line with a few key points around this amazing success story. And we want to kick off with you, Begüm, because you are that trailblazer. So tell us a little bit about what you set out to do and what the impact has been today.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here again once more. So I'm really proud to stand on behalf of Yildiz Holding's women employees. So it's a global company, a Turkish company, having more than 75,000 employees all around the world. And to be honest, we have 98 different passport holders. So it's a very diverse company as well. So once we have started talking about creating an impact program for Yildiz Holding, it was during the COVID times. It was in 2020. And we realized that most affected people are all the women employees. So most of them lost their jobs, even they couldn't continue their businesses. And I am one of the women employees as well, and I realized that it's a really tough period for all of us. All changed our habits, our ambitions on the work life. Even I lost my faith in my having a sustainable career in the place as well. So I met with Meral. It's a life-changing period for me. So first we signed WEPS, Women Empowerment Principles. And then she introduced me something which was not even considered in my company, which is gender responsive procurement and investment. So when I went to the company and I introduced this program to the procurement guys, so they just looked at me in a very weird way. So, and I questioned, what is the percentage of women entrepreneurs in your supply chain? And the answer was even more weird. So they never questioned it. There was no awareness about gender responsive procurement. So we signed a strategic partnership agreement with ALIA, with the ECA region, and committed to WEA program.
So all our commitment was, as Yildiz Holding, a holding company, including brands like Godiva, Gladys, Ülker, and hold spread it all around more than 75 people, we committed to empower women in our ecosystem. Of course, besides, we are empowering our women employees as well. So when we first started, I'm proud of saying that we were only 36% women employees among 75,000. Now we are 47. Each individual company committed to support their program by opening their supply chains. So which I'm really honored to work with London Business School to create a case study, because we are willing to inspire the other companies. If we could do that, it is doable. So it wasn't easy. Of course, there were challenges, but we succeeded at the end. So each company opened their supply chain. The first one, we started working with women farmers. The women farmers were always there, but we didn't approach them. So now we have actually, it was less than even 1% in the company, having the women farmers within our ecosystem. Now, within less than a year, we succeeded to achieve more than 10%. Of goods from the women farmers for 3 years, within 3 years, that's it. What happened? In less than 1 year, we purchased more than 6,000 tons of goods from the women farmers. Even our venture capital company committed to invest or prioritize women entrepreneurs within their portfolio, and it was less than 1% at the beginning. Now they're investing in more than $5 million per year, each women entrepreneur. So, in retail business, they opened their shelves with no profit, and now women entrepreneurs started to sell their products. And within less than 2 months, we realized that the business is really huge because women are preferred to buy from women. So once we indicate that this is coming from a women entrepreneur, then it's making more attractive. So the company is not expecting any profit, but trying to build featured suppliers for themselves as well. So you see, it's a win-win program. So we created many more platforms. We can just follow it from the case study. So we are really willing to inspire the private sector and the governments as well. So gender responsive procurement is the key for our success. And we are really willing to partner with all the companies and try to inspire them with any platform we can. So that's my privilege to work with Dr. Lisa Duke and Dr. Helen. So yeah, I'm really appreciated for the support you are giving me. When I first introduced my program, she said it is speechless. So I was even more excited for that as well. Thank you.
Great question. To actually go to Lisa. Lisa, we know you've written actually over 100 cases. 150. Thank you for correcting me. Many of which are award-winning. We'd really be interested in understanding from your perspective, as you collaborated with Yildiz Holding, what are the key takeaways, key highlights that you'd like to share with us?
Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Meral. And thank you, Meral, for very much. I actually, because there is we're time efficient, I really want to focus on a couple of things. I think, first of all, and as someone who's done 30 years of research in various topics, this is really systemic change. And systemic change is about partnership. No one can do this alone. And I think what's really interesting about what Yildiz is trying to do, it's actually not just, it's really reaching out and working with others, because that really truly amplifies the impact and the effect that you can have. But I want to focus particularly, and you can read very brief what some of the highlights are. But there was something that I found particularly interesting, particularly with the Karevitage pilot. And that is that, it's very easy to say, yes, we give, women access to finance, we give them access to resources, Access is clearly the key. We can also give them education. But I'm actually going to argue it's not just for women. And the one thing that I think was really interesting is that when they started to talk about, buy from more women farmers, encourage women entrepreneurship, there was actually a little element of pushback from some of the procurement teams. Because why would we do this? We're about minimizing risk. What you're asking us for is really to take huge risks. And I think that's one of the reasons why this feels difficult. But what they did, and I think this is really beautiful, was to say to them, we'll change our approach, we'll change our processes, we'll give you what we call in academic terms more freedom in the brain. So you operate with greater boundaries. And I think that's something that we all need to truly remember when we're doing this, because that's what made it work. Is that it's to say to the procurement team, you can do this, and also, as I said, to educate the men. Because let's be honest here, there's more men in decision-making positions, and therefore you have to get them to buy in, and you have to get them to understand that this is a positive risk, and this positive risk will really amplify everything. And so at Correvitas, that's why they were able to meet all their targets in a year rather than 3. And I think if you look along the other stories, and again, they're very brief, and we'll be doing a greater case study with a lot more detail in it, which, it would be great for you all to get a copy and read it. It's some of these really key steps, because I'm sure you all agree, to take great leaps, you have to make very small steps, and you keep building on that. So, I mean, for me, that was probably my greatest learning from being involved. So thank you.
Right, and final words for you then. We have a wonderful audience here, some of whom may want to follow your footsteps. What advice do you have for them? What are the top 3 things that you want to leave for this audience?
Yeah, actually, it is a real good journey and lots of including learnings for all the partners, colleagues in the company, let's say. So my advice and my wish would be just take the risk and try not to convince the people, just push them to do it. Because you need to push them to do it. So you give smart KPIs, if you follow them, and if the senior management holds the programs and owns the programs, then it's moving, it's happening. So it was the first moment that I, nudged the procurement guys. I just restrict their comfort zone. They were just questioning why I should change my supplier. I'm working with them many years, and I'm the guaranteed purchasing, the quality is there, and I said, why don't you try another one? Why don't you give a chance, an opportunity to another one? So at the end, it was a profitable business for the company as well, from many aspects. So it became one of the highest priority programs in the company. And now we are prioritizing gender responsive procurement and investment in all, top level decision makers. So I'm so glad that Meral introduced us the program itself. And we are now committed to continue our support for the VEA program, even for the EXPO, because our venture capital company is just benefiting out of it as well. So thank you very much.
I think we have to have a volunteer for our club to stay out here for half an hour more, please. So finally, for this interactive plenary session that we have, I would like to call Sergio Fernandez de Cordova to moderate. Sergio is the founder and chairman of Public Foundation and a recent UN ambassador serving as the permanent observer to the International Youth Organization for Ibero-America to the United Nations. As chairman of Public, he leads the foundation's engagement with governments from the Vatican to the White House, to the United Nations and multinationals, public and private. And soon, an EXPO partner, right, Sergio? He for she, yeah. And she for she.
Thank you so much, Meral. Actually, I'm wearing my he for she bracelet right here. Thank you, Tess. We're part of helping launch that program globally. So just really excited actually for bringing that up. Still wear it, never taking it off. Good morning, distinguished guests, partners, visionary leaders. Today, we stand at the nexus of innovation, empowerment, transformative action with the Women's Entrepreneurship Accelerator and the EXPO initiative. In a world where women entrepreneurs face disproportionate barriers, from access to capital to navigating social norms, our mission has never been more critical. The WEA is not just an initiative, it's a global movement, as we heard earlier today from our UN colleagues. The global movement towards gender equality and sustainable development, aiming to empower 5 million women across 70 countries by 2030. Our time is running. Our journey from offering tailored boot camps to facilitating access to capital and enabling gender-responsible ecosystems underscores our commitment to not just address, but dismantle the barriers that are facing women entrepreneurs. We are here to catalyze action, to innovate solutions, and to forge global partnerships that not just drive economic growth, but equitable and inclusive prosperity. As we delve into today's discussion, I urge you to envision a future where gender no longer defines business success, where women's entrepreneurial spirit is not just recognized, but celebrated and supported at every step. Together, let's build this future. So, wanted to open up with some words here. Sorry, there's no microphones. So basically, I have the honor, the pleasure of trying to fit 45 minutes into 10 minutes. I will try to do my best. I really honored and excited to be here, Meral. Thank you so much for giving me the honor to have the plenary Q&A. And we have two speakers that I'm going to call out, and then I'm just going to ask for a couple of folks from the audience to say a couple of words, and then I think we'll be rushed out of this room. So I'd like to start with, we have a team from the W1020, the co-chairs, Virginie and Anne, and I'd like to give you an opportunity to provide some feedback, and if you can come up. And I want to really, hold on, I think we can share the mic or give you the microphone, but remember, what are your ideas and suggestions on how this program can move the needle towards, in terms of supporting women's entrepreneurship, and suggestions and commitments?
Great. Well, you heard Virginie ask us, will you join us? We, the W20, Women Entrepreneurs Act, are very excited about joining WEA and the export program. I would also like to acknowledge Ann Simmons-Benton and Ann Robert. And here, my colleague, Jemimah. W20 Guzel, who is the co-head of delegation, she'll speak for an instant or two after my quick comments. First of all, I wanted to tell you, this is just really an incredible honor for W20 and for Women Entrepreneurs Act. We had a 3-hour meeting on Monday, just after they got off the plane, with the chair of W20 Brazil and the head of delegation for W20 Brazil. And we mapped out 7 areas of cooperation for now and more to come. So we will be working on elevating the women's entrepreneurship ecosystem, helping craft women entrepreneurial policy frameworks, expanding women entrepreneurial access to finance, and boy, is this an important one. And Ravanana is our investment queen over here. And then advancing gender responsive public and private procurement, working closely with Anna and the International Trade Center and UN Women, both on corporate and public procurement. Facilitating gender data networks and partnerships across key organizations doing work in that area, but there's so many data gaps, it's awful. Then also promoting a national strategy on gender equity and equality. The White House has been pioneering on this in the United States, and we have several other countries doing terrific work. And finally, a global showcase of models and best practices that we can share across countries. We're so excited about the expo process and the great excitement of working with WAM. Jemimah, can you come up to the microphone for a minute?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Good morning. I'm such an honor to be here. Oh, you're not busy to me, sorry. Such an honor to be here today. Good morning, everyone. With so inspiring women, especially this one here. Expertise, so much expertise. Thank you so much. I'm here to celebrate the W20 Brazil. And there is a working group about entrepreneurship, and we are working a lot to include all women, especially the Black women, the indigenous women in Brazil. And we are so happy to see all this work here happening in the United States. Thank you so much for your attention.
And Wea, thank you for asking us to join you.
Thank you, ladies. All right, I would like to also now welcome the Turkey Women Entrepreneurship Association Secretary General Yasim.
Hello, I'm very honored to be here, and thanks to Meral for bringing such a great group. Much has been said. Virginie said everything. But I didn't. I know that I have 30 minutes, so I just want to underline the importance of partnerships. We are a Women Entrepreneurs Association in Turkey. We want to support women entrepreneurs, but we cannot do this all by ourselves. We need the private sector, we need the public sector, we need the international organization. And just a little example, we have showcased our project that we just empower the women in the earthquake region in Turkey. We came here together with Hepsi Burada, Cem is here. They are our partners from the private sector. But it is not only Hepsi Burada, Yildiz came to the earthquake region as buyers. We had UN Women Turkey, we had that. This was a part of the EXPO, WEA EXPO. So we have the local governments, we have the municipalities, so the partnerships to create change. We definitely believe in partnerships, and WEA is a great way that we can hold hand in hand to empower women entrepreneurs. Thank you. I hope I was quick.
Thank you so much. So I wanted to actually take a step back on our co-chairs here that were here from W20, and given the fact that we have a whole team of delegation, I'd like everyone from W20 to please stand up. Must recognize that. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you so much. So I want you now, actually here. So part of the idea, since I think we've been blessed with a couple more than just 3 minutes to go. So our 10 minutes has been extended. I'd like to open up the floor and really start to, get a couple of folks to raise their hands and really. The questions here, and I want to remind everybody, is what are your ideas and suggestions on how this program can move the needle in terms of supporting women's entrepreneurship? Number one. Number two, suggestions and commitments. Let me hear commitment here. Commitments that take action, right, between your company, your organization, and UN Women and the broader WEA team. So I saw someone raise their hand even before I was finished speaking right back there. So if you can you project, or do you want to come up here?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lydia O'Connor. I'm the CEO of the Cherie Foundation for Women. And I'm really excited about the EXPO program really driving systemic change through the partnership approach. I have a question. So we are a non-profit organization providing women entrepreneurs in low and middle countries with entrepreneurship training, support, and mentoring programs, and reach 250,000 women across low countries to date. With 1 million women by 2030. So I would really like to understand a bit more in terms of how a non-profit organization like ours can really plug in.
I'm so sorry, can I just go? Because they cannot hear you online. I'm so sorry.
Actually, yeah,
Can you come on? I couldn't even hear from here. Maybe we can just step back 2 minutes more. Yeah, thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. I will repeat that. I am Lydia O'Connor. I am the CEO of the Cherie Foundation for Women. We are a non-profit organization supporting women entrepreneurs in low and middle income countries, and we provide entrepreneurship training, support, as well as mentorship for women entrepreneurs. And we've supported 250,000 women entrepreneurs to date and have an aspiration to support 1 million by 2030. So really excited to hear about the EXPO program and really accelerating systemic change and ecosystem change, and very much aligned with the partnership approach as well as the localization agenda, which is very important to us. So my question is, how can a nonprofit organization like ours actually plug in and fit into what the EXPO program is looking to roll out? And I don't know who on the team I should really direct that question to, but I'm really keen to find out how we can work together and align what we are offering with the EXPO framework as well. And also, second question, really in terms of priority countries. So I know the speakers mentioned that we're in 10 countries already that the EXPO has launched in. So just wanting to understand which of those countries and if there are any priority countries for the next year or two. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And to answer your question, everything is being recorded and everything will be followed up.
So how should I love?
All right, so I would like, oh, look at this. She had both hands up. You have to come up. Again, what are your ideas while she's making her way up for everyone else who's ever next? Ideas and suggestions on how this program can move the needle. Or suggestions on commitments or collaborations, as we just heard. She said from 250,000 to 1 million women. And by the way, I didn't hear anybody celebrate this. Are we not? I think really is great. And how we can support the broader WE. You know.
Okay, hi. So how can we support this ecosystem? I think we can support this ecosystem by supporting each other. I think Meral. Oh, my name's Amanda. Hi. I was out of the last minute, so I have a Sharpie marker name on my table if you'd like to see. I will explain what I do in a second in number two, but for number one, Meral has done, she's talking right now because she's still working. She's at one of the guests or whatever. I've never seen one person do so much for so many people. And as women, big and And it's very, very hard for women to ask for help. So I'd like for, this is what I think could move the needle, is if each of us specifically actually ask you, what can we specifically do to help you, to move this forward, to guide you, to support you, and then actually do that. So that is what I would love as an ask for us to move that forward, and I will also be asking you. Great, you have a list, amazing, so that's great. So that's number one. That's number one. Number two, so I have multiple companies. I've been in a lot of different worlds and worn a lot of different hats. But my background is I have a master's in curriculum and instruction, and my entire career, what I focused on is changing the way we think about success. As women, we're put into this position and situation where we have to think about success in a lot of ways like men. I don't necessarily know if that serves us or the world that we're in. Right now, we're really, am I allowed to talk for one more minute? Okay. We are facing AI in terms of taking a lot of our jobs and a lot of our roles and a lot of our positions. And we treat kids like computers and like machines, like productivity machines. So they will be replaced by AI if we keep doing that. And so we need to change the skills we're teaching them. We need to change the way that we're actually teaching them to be humans. And we need to change the way we're measuring that success in that learning experience. And so the work I'm doing is actually with gaming environments, changing the way that we're thinking about measuring engagement within those games, not just time and attention, but having a nuanced understanding of when kids are learning within games and then certifying those games as learning experiences or not. So that we know that when our kids are online, they spend 8 hours a day on technology, that they are doing things that are healthy for them, meaningful for them. And then I'm giving that actual data to the student and to the parents so that they can see how they're learning in those games, actually providing credentials to the skills that they're acquiring in those games so that we can validate that learning is happening wherever, however. So the way that I would want to work with this organization is 50% of game players are actually women, but gaming is not necessarily the safest, most desirable place for women, even though they're there, would be to help implement this certification program. I'm partnering with Learning Economy Foundation, the Walton Foundation, to help roll this out in partnership with governments, with organizations, with gaming entities and companies. And thank you so, so much. Great.
You. All right, I'd like to welcome Anna, founder and CEO of Global Investor.
Thank you, Sergio. Okay, I want to also say, so I'm another global investor and also the founder of Investor Summit. So we align completely with WEA's mission. We're on a mission to get 1 million women entrepreneurs funded by 2030 in partnership. At our first summit in Paris last year, Meral came and did an amazing job of sharing about this program and our commitment. And I also was one of the people giving an online course on access to funding for the Expo this year in 2023, last year. So we commit to showcasing Meral, showcasing WEA again at the summit this year. I have already formally asked Begum and Yildiz to share the incredible case studies. We need to share, and also Mary Kay, we need to show the world that it is possible. So we want to help to showcase also through our directories of women entrepreneurs and investors to continue to support WEA's mission. But my message to you all, we all know somebody here who can help support, fund. Now, let's talk, I speak bluntly, Meral. Open your wallets, okay? So WEA needs to be funded. This has to go forward. It is a very important mission. So each of us here, whether we can directly impact and help to fund this program, or we can give 2 to 3 contacts to Meral and the WEA team, that's my call to action to us all.
And thank you so much. And exactly the call to action here, that I love that she said this, is that it's not just yourself, it's your network. Identify, bring people, well, somebody that you met at an event, introduce them to Meral, and really, help take this forward. And thank you, Anna. I've actually had the pleasure of having met Anna when she launched Global Investor, and I'm so excited to reconnect. And by the way, she just said 1 million women by 2030. I don't hear reactions here. And now I'd like to ask Catherine, President of the Business and Professional Women's Network.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm so last, but I hope not so least. I just want to draw your attention. We are working since last October with UN Women. We concluded an MOU to create women-led and inclusive incubators worldwide. We started with Africa since, and our goal is to have 25 countries participate in this program. Up to now, we have already assured 3 incubators in Sierra Leone, in Niger, and in Congo. And we would like, of course, that would be a wonderful groundwork then also for the Expo in West Africa. So I hope we will meet some people who will help us also with investment to continue this great network. We are in 150 countries present, BPW International, and we hope really we can go forward with this because that will make a huge change to our women on the ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine. Well, we talked about 70 countries. She's in 150. I think we should be able to meet that goal really, really fast. So, since we have some more time, I don't see anybody else stepping up. We need some commitment. Here we go. Please don't be shy. We have time. And if anybody else wants to wait me be next, don't be shy.
I was in the back.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Fernandez-Lor. I'm from BBVA Microfinance Foundation. We're a nonprofit that operates in Latin America, serving 3 million vulnerable entrepreneurs, of which 60% are women. We're reaching almost 1.7 million vulnerable female-led businesses. And our commitment is our openness to participate, promoting and enhancing the businesses of these female-led entrepreneurs in the region, open to discuss and collaborate in alliance with those who are in the region. We're represented in 5 countries: Colombia, Peru, Dominican Republic, and Chile. So happy to talk anytime and become part of the export at some point, because we need to boost female-led entrepreneurship in the region as well. There's a lot of work to do. So thank you, Meral, for having us.
Thank you so much. One more. Yes, please come up. Everybody. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Morning, everyone. W20 Italy team. Thank you so much for this invitation. But also W7, the G7 official engagement group of the G7 on women empowerment. And a few weeks ago, we launched a collaboration with the Smiley Academy for supporting entrepreneurship of indigenous women in India. We are in partnership with 100 women and 10 projects, entrepreneurship projects related to sustainability. So happy to discuss and find common synergies all together. All our entrepreneurship are women coming from rural community in India. So why not put together energy to find a common solution? And last but not least, our gender procurement star Virginie will be with us at the Italian Institute of Culture this Monday. So you all are invited to join us to talk about financial empowerment and gender procurement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Cem Taner. I'm from Turkey, hepsi burada. Many thanks to Meral, UN Women, and also Kagida Yeşim for being here today. Hepsi Burada is the one of the biggest national e-commerce player in Turkey. We have a 7-year program with women entrepreneurs. We have helped 50,000 women entrepreneurs to their market reach for the last 7 years. And we have a commitment to make this number 120,000 in 2030. So we are very open to collaboration and all kind of collaborations in terms of market reach for women entrepreneurs in the digital world. And also we will be giving a corporate commitment because the number, enlarging the number is the number of women entrepreneurs in is an issue, an important issue, but making the market share of women entrepreneurs more takes much of a harder work. And we are at the place of where the rubber meets the road. And in terms of revenues, making the market share of women entrepreneurs is another commitment of my company that was founded by a woman entrepreneur and also led by a woman CEO. So thank you for being here and making this opportunity. Thank you.
Right.
Hi, my name is Yildiz. I'm from the African Development Bank. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to say that on the African continent, the bank is the African Development Bank group is the biggest financier. We have committed funding towards women entrepreneurs, and of which 1.6 billion has actually been dispersed through financial and non-financial institutions to support women entrepreneurs. Synergies, we want to collaborate. We have platforms to reach that we would want to put at your disposal, and also we have the resources through what we call the entrepreneurs enablers, and we see so many synergies here where we can support you in reaching the goals. So I just wanted to say it's tough. I think actually a meeting now, Monday to see what's
Fantastic.
Right, our time is almost coming to an end. We're about to wind back. Again, please, everyone, this is a call to action, right? It doesn't stop when this event ends. And we need everyone to reach out to their donors, their partners, their investors. This is a very, very important program, and what Meral do, and thank you, Amanda, for pointing out what can we do to help her. Need help, and it's hard to ask for help, but it's very easy to lend a hand. So I think, as one of our speakers said, take great leaps, we must take small steps. So every relationship, every contact, even if you think it's not worthwhile, you never know. There's your leader.
I literally meant it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We need to close, not that we want to close, but we really need to close. We were told several times. I want to finish with the last section of the topic points of Jemimah that shouldn't have time to say anything. We need your commitment as big businesses to support women-owned businesses through gender-responsive procurement. We need your commitment as financier to build the capacity of women-owned businesses to compete for business opportunities. And finally, we need your commitment to develop the ecosystem that helps connect women-owned and gender-responsive businesses to the services they need to grow. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming today.
Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. We can follow this. And be proud.
Yeah, Meral, let's have a photo. Oh, let's have everybody.
Share it all